Welcome to Behind the Badge with your hosts,
Lieutenant Ryan Williams,
and Officer Cammie Vandermolen.
your source for all things Spondy Police.
It's KFIZ today on a Friday. Behind the Badge, our weekly visit with Fond du Lac Police Department. LT is in studio, Lieutenant Ryan Williams. How we doing?
Very well, very busy. October is very busy, and you're going to see why. We have one of the reasons in the studio here, but we're really doing well on hiring, and there is a possibility out there that we might be technically full by the end of the year. But we'll see.
Wow. Okay.
That's being optimistic, but we'll just be real. But it's getting there.
We'll wait and see how that goes. And helping you get closer to being full,
Yes.
is the gentleman who's in studio with us today.
This is Officer Hayden Stelter. So, Hayden, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Hayden. I like basketball. I'm a big Bucks fan. They have not done so well in the playoffs the last few years, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually. Some of my hobbies include like working out, like playing drum set. That's a unique one. I used to play basketball in high school, not anymore. I'm a big music guy in general. Like listen to all genres of music. Basically anything that sounds good, I like it. Right now, I'm just living my best life. I'm enjoying Fond du Lac a lot. The department's great. The leadership's amazing, including this man right here. It's fantastic.
I didn't pay him.
I was going to say, what was exchanged to say that? So, all right, as listeners know, and you said we've got a couple of new hires in the next couple of weeks, so they're going to get to hear these questions that I like to ask over and over and over. So, where did you grow up? What was life like for a young Hayden Stelter?
Stelter, yes.
Okay.
I love this question because it's all over the place. I was born in Fond du Lac. I grew up partly in Fond du Lac, moved to Oshkosh, moved to Black Wolf, then moved to Hortonville, and now I'm back in Fond du Lac.
Wow.
And now I'm getting an apartment that's in between Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. So I've been kind of all over the place.
You have been all over the place.
Yeah.
And at what point in life did you decide you wanted to go into law enforcement?
It's always been on my mind since I was a kid. I think the main point, the main year that changed it was junior year. That was the main turning point in my life.
And what happened? What was there anything in particular?
I mean, it was after just like a big surgery I had, and it kind of was kind of an eye opener of how quick life can change in a dime. And if say something tragic were to happen, right? I want to be happy with how I've lived my life and what I've done for myself and for others. So that was the main reasoning behind it at that point.
And so then what has that journey looked like as far as going from junior year to where you're at now, an officer with the Fond du Lac Police Department? How did you get here?
It's a big jump. I mean, I was working at Culver's during almost my entire high school career.
Okay, time out there first and foremost. Because LT and I, we like food.
Yeah, we do. Like
So Culver's, all right. What was your go-to if you got to go to Culver's? What is? I mean, and maybe there isn't one thing, but if you had to pick one, right? J.J. Watt's got his little meal going on.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still going on right now or not? What would be Hayden's meal at Culver's?
I love this question because everyone asks me and I say the same answer every time. It's the sourdough melt. It is the best burger they have.
Really?
The sourdough
I
melt
do
is
like
amazing.
the sourdough.
I've never had it.
It's good.
Best burger they
It's
have.
worth a try.
Why is it? Tell me why. Sell me on it, because
It's okay. Well, first of all, they butter the bread perfectly. The bread doesn't go on the. There's a little machine they put the actual regular buns in that just toast them.
Okay.
This bread actually goes on the grill.
All right,
The
that
cheese
makes
is
sense.
melted on the grill, and if you add some sauce on there too, the sauce is a little more melted too.
What's the sauce? What is?
I usually do like ketchup mayo. It doesn't come with any on it.
Oh,
but-
okay. You get a specific.
I do a special one, yeah.
Got it.
but yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
good.
And then fries, curds, both. Have you ever done both?
It's a lot of food, but
The same meal. I have.
Oh, look at me. Yeah, it's definitely for me.
I have also. Now I'm really. I mean, yes, I'm a fairly thin guy. We're not calling you fat by any means.
Right,
didn't
I
mean-
know. I'm big bone.
I didn't mean that. But I have, when I've been really hungry, let's just put it that way, I have done curds and fries and those little pretzel bites that they have. Have you ever had the pretzel bites?
Now, are you sharing this meal? Or is this all you?
This was all me.
Oh, wow.
This is all me after responsibly having a few beverages.
Wow.
Your
Yep.
stomach might be a little bit
Uh-huh.
larger than you want. And then I'm doing a double deluxe
Double deluxe, yeah.
on top of that. I probably don't eat the whole next day though, because that is a lot of calories.
I'm getting old, and I'll tell you, my go-to at Culver's right now, kids meal. It helps my portion control,
Yes.
but I also get the little free ice cream at the end. So I think it's great. And then you don't feel so bad about adding just like the order of cheese curds in addition, because it's a smaller portion of fries.
That is a good move. No, I would agree with you. I can't, with the meal I described, that doesn't happen all the time, because then I wouldn't look like this, but Culver's is great stuff. All right, so that's awesome. So we'll see. I know I have dinner with my mom about once a week, and usually we do fast food every so often, and Culver's is in the mix. So rather than getting my single butter burger with cheese or the chicken, I'm a big fan of their crispy chicken sandwich. I can't do spicy. Culver's is a big sponsor of ours here, by the way, including the KFIZ.
Well, we've done them right today.
I'll have to try the sourdough melt and get back to you. So yes, okay, there we go. So you were at Culver's. Sorry,
Yes.
I had to hijack that because
That's great. No, that's great.
I am so hungry right now, by the way.
Yes, my mouth is
It
watering.
is. So all right, you're at Culver's and then continue.
Yep, so I was a crew trainer there for 1 or 2 years. Once the end of senior year hit, I started applying for a CSO job at Appleton PD, actually. I got that. I worked there for about 1.5 years. At that point, I applied for Fond du Lac to be a police officer after about 1 to 2 years, as I was nearing the end of my graduation for my 2-year program at Fox Valley Tech. And that's when I got hired. I joined Fond du Lac as a CSO for about 1 month, so just a little bit of, opening up to the department, getting to know people, all that. And then, went to the academy, just graduated last week, and now I'm here, so.
So we'll do that. We'll typically, if they're just waiting for basically the police academy, we'll bring them on and just have them be a CSO, because they're learning so much more about our department.
Yes.
And they're already kind of like getting to know people. We want them to feel like they're part of a family. So yeah, he was a CSO just long enough to get a uniform, and then basically turned back in.
Right, yeah.
But it's great, and I try to prepare them a little bit for the academy if I can, as far as what they're gonna learn and stuff like that. And we've been doing pretty darn good, because our employees have fared pretty well at the academy. I can't take credit. I mean, it's them doing it, but Aiden was up there with academics. There was some other one that beat us this time, but we were really close, and we had 2 people tied for second that were both from Fond du Lac for the academic award. And so we do really well at the academy, so that they appreciate us, and it's good representation for Fond du Lac.
What was your experience like at the academy?
I enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot more classroom than I expected, actually, but it's really useful information, and it really puts things in perspective, actually gets you prepared for what you're about to get into. It's very helpful information. I liked it. It made a lot of good friends and connections in the academy too.
And so now an officer here in Fond du Lac. So what has the short time you've been doing that been like, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, this would be my 2nd day now, so not a whole lot. But
A lot of following this guy around.
basically, yeah. But it's a different experience going from being in a classroom and stuff to actually going to the city you're working in, right? I mean, even if I'm not out there, doing patrol quite yet, it's still a different feeling.
So we review kind of what we do. We have an orientation phase before they actually get into a squad car with a FTO for 12 weeks. But during this orientation, we try to bridge the gap from what the academy teaches them to what they actually can use on the road. And we do that by having, we basically have a mini academy, I like to call it. So first day they started with a lot of admin stuff. It was a lot of sit and get, unfortunately, but that's just how you have to cover all that stuff. And so then they did some EVOCs, emergency vehicle stuff. We teach every one of our employees how to drive the Bearcat, our armored vehicle, because it could save lives, and we want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable enough to drive that around. We did this week professional communications. They're gonna learn evidence, which in my mind is the boring 2 days, but it takes like a day and a half where to learn how to process all the evidence stuff that we do. And then we're gonna do firearms and a couple other tasks in there, so it's a pretty loaded week. So even though it's not the most exciting, then next week we go into some more exciting stuff. We can talk about that next week as we get through there.
There we go. Hopes and dreams for your career. Do you see you wanting to go in one direction or another, or whatever comes your way, you're good with it?
I'm very young at this point, so I don't know. I'm kind of hoping to figure it out in the future. I mean, right now, one of my main things I want to go into is drug recognition experts. That's one of the fields I wanted to go into. But again, I'm pretty young at this point. I'm not quite sure yet, so I'd want to wait and get more experience and see, where life takes me.
So he is very young as for an officer, which is interesting because when I was his age, we won't say his age, we'll keep that a secret.
He's got a baby face for
Yeah,
those who can't see.
He's
I'll tell
young.
you that.
He's old enough to be a police officer, that's for sure.
That's all that matters.
But I look at the level of maturity of some of the people that we've hired, and it's amazing to me because when I was their age, I wasn't there, I'll be honest.
He's very well spoken.
Yeah.
I can tell from this conversation.
I mean, I was still in college and learning life lessons.
You were. So am I, based on my
Yeah.
own older story.
You know.
Right? I'm 45.
A lot of people go to college for 5.5 years,
That's all right.
But we all mature at different times, right? And not only just to mature, but then to take on the responsibility of this job. Like this job that we've talked about on this radio show has so many different twists and turns, and it is a great job. It's a rewarding job, and but it's amazing that we're getting younger people into this profession who are already mature and ready to take on that challenge.
I would agree. Well, it was great to get to know you some more, and I'm sure LT is going to have you back at some point.
We try to, some people are shyer than others, but he got elected by the other two to go first.
I volunteer.
He volunteered, okay, so he volunteered.
Well, we're looking forward to meeting the two other new ones in the upcoming weeks, and I know we got one more topic before we go, right?
Yeah, so as many people that know, like drive around Fond du Lac, we are not unique from any of the other cities in the Fox cities or around the United States where we do have people experiencing homelessness throughout our city, and we have places and we have resources that those people can utilize to help them, and we the people of Fond du Lac have big hearts, big hearts, and they want to do everything they can, but we want to make sure that we empower the citizens so that we're all kind of going in the same direction, right? So we're not fighting each other, because we actually have officers that dedicate their time and they know like everybody. They know everyone that's experiencing homeless. They know their story, and they're able to kind of get them the resources. However, if like let's say people out of the kindness of their hearts might be just donating food to people, what that does is it doesn't point them in the right direction to the food banks and the resources they should go. So what that means is that person might now rely on that food, or there might be some follow-up care that we can provide if they go through the proper channels. And as much as we appreciate that, your donation would be better going to the food bank, so that we can get them all into the right resources that they need, so that we can give them the help that they need. Unfortunately, it's fortunate. I'm glad that we have a community who have big hearts and want to help on people experiencing homelessness, but help them by pointing them in the right direction, getting them the resources that they need, being in the areas where they can be so we can find them, right? It's getting cold, and these people are going to have tough times ahead of them, so unless we can keep track of them and get them the resources. So with that being said, I love that Fond du Lac has big hearts and they want to help these people. Just try to go about it the right way. And there's lots of homeless shelters out there. There's food banks and places you can donate, and that'll be more rewarding than everybody, because then we're all, as my old chief used to say, pulling the rope in the same direction.
That is great advice.
Hope Mr. Barthuli is listening. He used to say that one a lot. So that's all I got.
Shout out to retired Chief Tony Barthuli.
Retired Chief Tony.
He was a character.
He was great. He always reminded me, kind of like when they do like the John Madden impression. Here's the guy. So he's kind of like a John Madden-esque, but yeah, he was great man, great chief, very personal. So yeah,
he was. My first time here at KFIC, interviewed him several times and had a a lot of fun, a lot of great conversations off the air. Police department, things we can't talk about, maybe someday we will. Behind the Badge, KFIZ today.
Morning talk, city's hot. A new day, let's all start. Behind the Badge, we'll stand tall through the ups and the fall. From the light, hear the call. Behind the Badge.